fighters face an uphill battle in capturing the fight fans' attention. With the struggles of being a good fighter with a friendly style and maintaining an image that fans will adhere to, fighters face many elements on becoming a superstar. Nick Diaz did all of this. The former welterweight champion in Strikeforce and WEC has gained the attention with his high-level mixed martial arts skills, proving to be a favorite amongst the hardcore fans. After Nate Diaz's loss to Jorge Masvidal in November 2019, Nick Diaz seems he wants to avenge his brother's loss. Speaking to ESPN MMA, Diaz was annoyed at Gamebred's quotes of him baptizing his brother.
You want to talk about baptizing my younger brother? I never had nothing disrespectful to say, but like you don't talk about baptizing my younger brother. So you're already in a position if you fight with me.
Nick Diaz has also claimed the new BMF belt to be his own, one that is currently held by Masvidal.
Like the BMF, the 107, that's my belt. But I'm not gonna get in my brother's way of taking it.
Does he know who's asking for a fight?
No.
Because I love the fight, and especially when I get a little something on top of that.
We look at Nick Diaz's top 5 wins. Before that, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the Fight Club Chronicles YouTube channel. Number 5, Nick Diaz versus Frank Shamrock. Diaz versus Frank Shamrock put Strikeforce on the map. It was easy to sell. It was one well-rounded mixed martial artist versus another. It was a cocky young fighter against an accomplished legend. Once the fight rolled around on 11th April 2009, Diaz did what he does best, and that's talk trash and kick ass.
His jab, his right hook, his uppercut. Shamrock just can't get through.
The revolutionary, all built by bits. It's the antidote to your systems.
Diaz finished Shamrock in the second round by TKO.
To make up to an end right here. Nick Diaz continuing.
Number 4, Nick Diaz versus Takanori Gomi. Never mind the fact that this fight was ruled a no contest because Diaz failed the drug test for marijuana prior. Don't let that take away from the fight Diaz and Takanori Gomi had at Pride 33 on 24th February 2007. Diaz mixed up his strikes well and rocked Gomi on more than one occasion. Both men fired back and forth, and the momentum of the fight shifted often.
Gomi's hands just dropped. Diaz had his full reign over that head.
The fight's conclusion was sensational. In the second round, the fight hit the ground and Diaz pulled off an incredible gogoplata to top Gomi. Number 3, Nick Diaz versus Robbie Lawler. At number 3 is Diaz's fight on 2nd April 2004 at UFC 47 against Robbie Lawler. Diaz marched down Lawler, throwing strikes and taunting his opponent, daring Lawler to strike with him. Lawler didn't back down, but surprisingly, Diaz got the better of the exchanges. It took mostly everyone by surprise because Diaz was considered to be a grappler back then. In the second round, Diaz landed a powerful counter right hand that knocked Lawler out. It's the greatest highlight reel knockout of Diaz's career. Number 2, BJ Penn versus Nick Diaz. On October 29, 2011, at UFC 137, Diaz and Penn showed exactly why they were the main event in the first place. Both of these popular fighters showcased how they became fan favorites as they tore the house down. Diaz worked Penn against the fence with beautiful, crisp combinations, and Penn showed the heart of a champion as he kept fighting. Diaz's stamina would prove to be the difference maker, though. His cardio helped him work Penn and outbox one of the best boxers this sport has ever seen. Number 1, Nick Diaz versus Paul Daley. Diaz has been in a lot of dogfights in his MMA career, but the fight he had with Daley trumps them all, simply because of the hostility and non-stop action it presented. The pre-fight talk gave so much for fight fans to salivate about. Though the fight only lasted a round, it proved to be one of the most entertaining rounds in MMA history. Knowing Daley's only shot of beating him was standing on the feet, Diaz walked down Daley with his hands flailing through the air. This allowed Daley to catch Diaz early in the fight and nearly finish it with ground and pound. Diaz's chin proved to be durable. He weathered the storm, fired back, and soon had Daley in a world of trouble against the fence. This fight was the definition of non-stop action, as the momentum continuously shifted back and forth. Both fighters had their moments, but when it was all said and done, Daley was planted unconscious on the mat after a devastating combination followed by brutal ground and pound against the fence. An honorable mention, and somewhat a hidden gem, goes out to the barnstormer between Nick Diaz and Moosin Corbry on June 14, 2008 on the Elite XC Return of the King show. One to watch for combat sport fans. With an impressive career as an MMA fighter, Diaz has been a household name for UFC fans. With Nick Diaz possibly returning to UFC in 2020, would you guys and girls like him to face the recently destructive Jorge Masvidal? Let us know if you'd like Diaz to return to the UFC by commenting below. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the Fight Club Chronicles YouTube and social media channels.